Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday morning, July 6th. Kind of a continuation of the overall weather pattern we've been experiencing for the last few weeks across much of the eastern half of the nation. A lot of hot weather from the south central states all the way to the southeastern states. Periodically, this very hot weather has surged to the north all the way into the upper part of the Midwest, the northern Mississippi Valley region. Meanwhile, the northeastern part of the nation, the Mid-Atlantic, New England, even the eastern part of the Great Lakes has experienced comfortable air mass after comfortable air mass and no sustained heat in places like D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, Boston. In fact, this weekend it looks like high temperatures in D.C. on Saturday and Sunday will be pretty close to the 80-degree mark. Very unusual comfortable conditions for this time of the year. New York City, Boston, no chance of hitting 90 degrees this weekend. In fact, Boston will probably stay in the 70s on Saturday and Sunday. But over the next few days, Dallas, Texas, for example, 100 to 105 degrees. St. Louis, Missouri, close to the 100-degree mark for the next couple of days. Huntsville, Alabama, certainly in the 90s for the next few days. And we continue to have very active zone on the northern edge of this strong high pressure ridge that has been centered largely over the south central states over the last several days. On the peripheral area of this high pressure system, there have been batches of showers and thunderstorms rotating around the high pressure system from northwest to southeast, and generally from the northern plains, the upper Midwest, across the Great Lakes into the Mid-Atlantic region. Looks like the southern Mid-Atlantic region could get hit hard later today, early tonight. Places like D.C. with this latest batch of showers and thunderstorms. In fact, let's start off here by looking at the latest radar loop from the College of DuPage. There is a kind of a dying mesoscale convective complex over West Virginia this morning, but just upstream from there, another looks like a better organized system moving into the northwestern part of Ohio. And again, continuation of the pattern from northwest to southeast. This particular area looks like it'll arrive right into the D.C. metro region, and later on today into tonight. The threat of heavy rain certainly exists south of the Mason-Dixon line later this afternoon into tonight. Places like D.C. and all surrounding Virginia and Maryland suburbs, and even more action off to the west here over the central part of the nation. Meanwhile, New York City, Boston, probably rain-free conditions both today and tonight. They're a little bit too far away from a stalled-out frontal boundary zone, which is lying right here this morning across the southern part of the Mid-Atlantic. Well, let's walk through last night's zero-Z run of the GFS. First, we're looking at the 500 millibar vorticity field forecast maps. Vorticity are areas of spin in the atmosphere, the upper part of the atmosphere, leading to upward motion down at the surface level. That's where we see our clouds. That's where we see our precipitation in the form of showers and thunderstorms this time of the year. First of all, high pressure dominates the scene across the south central states, the lower Mississippi Valley, the Tennessee Valley, all the way into the southeastern states. Again, Dallas, Texas, probably 100 to 105 for the next few days. St. Louis, Missouri, near 100 degrees both today and tomorrow. Huntsville, Alabama, certainly up in the 90s. Atlanta, very, very hot conditions. But look at this flow here on the northeast side of this high pressure ridge. And this has been the pattern for weeks now. Northwest to southeast, from the northern plains, across the Great Lakes, into the Mid-Atlantic region, the northeastern states. This kind of a flow in the upper part of the atmosphere has really done two things for this part of the nation. It has, one, prevented any kind of a long, extended, sustained period of hot weather. Have not even seen back-to-back-to-back 90-degree days in D.C. this summer season or throughout the month of June and May as well. And 3 days in a row of 90 degrees is kind of the loose definition of a heat wave, at least in the northeastern part of the country. And again, northwest flow aloft has inhibited consecutive days with 90 degrees, and it looks like it may hit 90 today in D.C., but no sustained 90 degrees. It'll be in the 80s tomorrow and on Friday, and probably highs Saturday and Sunday closer to the 80-degree mark than the 90-degree mark in the DC metro region. Number two, this kind of a persistent northwest to southeast flow in the upper part of the atmosphere has contributed to very active weather, as on the peripheral area of this high pressure system there have been batches of showers and thunderstorms. You can even see little pockets of vorticity right along that flow from northwest to southeast, and these batches of showers and thunderstorms have just generally moved from northwest to southeast, from the upper Midwest across the Great Lakes into the Mid-Atlantic region, and it looks like later today the main threat will be south of the Mason-Dixon line all the way throughout the DC metro region. There can be some heavy rain this afternoon, especially this evening. Any shower or thunderstorm can produce some heavy rainfall amounts in a short period of time. Now let's move forward here and watch a continuation of this active zone up here and hot weather pattern down across the south central states over the next few days. Here we are Thursday morning, another series of vorticity maxima sliding from northwest to southeast by the time we get to the end of the work week. Meanwhile, high pressure kind of centered remaining over the south central states, with minimal chance of showers and thunderstorms across the deep south, but a high chance across the northern plains, the upper Midwest, into the Mid-Atlantic region, all the way through the end of the work week. And then we get into the upcoming weekend. By this time, we have our upper level low situated over southeastern Canada. It pushes yet another comfortable air mass into the northeastern states again. Very reasonable temperatures for this time of the year. Saturday and Sunday, places like DC, Philadelphia, New York City, and Boston, with the heat suppressed a little bit farther to the south, again extending from Texas all the way to the southeastern U.S. coastline. Well, let's see how this pattern translates to the 850 millibar temperature anomalies. Again, above normal conditions across the Tennessee Valley, the Mississippi Valley, into the Mid-Atlantic region. Especially hot today. Dallas 100 to 105 degrees. St. Louis 100 degrees. Huntsville, Alabama certainly up in the 90s, and Atlanta as well. And now let's move forward here, and you'll see by the time we get to the upcoming weekend, this very hot zone will be suppressed a little bit to the south by the time we get to the upcoming weekend. Here we are on Saturday morning again. A little bit pushed to the south, and look at this in New England and southeastern Canada all the way down to the Mid-Atlantic region. Another cooler than normal air mass, probably beautiful weekend. Places like Boston, New York City, throughout New England this upcoming weekend, and we'll go all the way through. And here we are now by Sunday morning, still cooler than normal conditions across much of the northeastern quadrant of the nation, and then the Central Plains all the way down to the southern plains and into the southeastern states. That's where the hot weather will be during the upcoming weekend. Now let's walk through last night's zero-Z run of the surface forecast map. This shows the radar reflectivities, and we can see where the precipitation will exist over the next several days here, showing up in green. The darker the green, the heavier the rainfall, as depicted here by the GFS model run from zero-Z. And again, a lot of stuff on the northeastern part of that high pressure system, which has been centered down over the southern part of the nation. Let's move forward here. By the time we get into the afternoon, evening hours, watch out for some heavy rainfall possible south, especially south of the Pennsylvania-Maryland border, Maryland, Virginia, DC, Delmarva Peninsula. Could even be some flooding type rainfall later today into tonight. Cannot rule out a shower or thunderstorm in Philadelphia, southeastern part of Pennsylvania, but again, more likely farther to the south there in places like DC. New York City, very likely a rain-free day coming today here on Wednesday. Then we go into Thursday and Friday, and still very active in that same stretch of real estate from the northern plains, the Midwest, into the Mid-Atlantic region on Thursday and Friday as well. Very hot weather conditions. South central states, Tennessee Valley, southeastern part of the nation. Here we go now by the time we get to Saturday morning, and look at this high pressure system. This is a thing of beauty this time of the year to see a strong high pressure area centered over southeastern Canada, just going to promote very, very nice weather this weekend. Philadelphia, New York City, Boston, all of New England, even down in D.C., probably highs closer to 80 degrees on Saturday and Sunday, well below normal for this time of the year, and a rarity indeed to get a weekend in July in D.C. with high temperatures closer to 80 degrees rather than 90 or above, and that looks like that'll be the case this particular weekend. We'll go out a little bit farther in time here, and again, high pressure just dominates the scene from the Great Lakes throughout the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast U.S. during the upcoming weekend. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.